So the other day I made a video about ASMR, and I watched that because my kids watch it, and so I wanted to see what it's all about, right? Some of the worst things I've ever heard in my life, just disturbing. But there's one that's even worse, and that is called ASMR eating. And if you're not, okay, baby, if you're not familiar with ASMR eating, essentially what that is everything that you could possibly hate about someone chewing their food, but being as if you are inside their mouth while they're eating. And I don't know who thought this was a great idea, but someone somewhere along the lines said, you know, that thing that we've all been socially taught not to do, that is completely grotesque and disgusting. We ought to put that on display for millions of people to see. And then we should get a microphone and put it on there so that everyone could hear every gastronomical, whatever the word is, chewing of the food. Castration? I don't know. It sounds good. And then you can hear the swallowing of the food. And you know what ought to make this even more awesome is if we whisper while we do it. And so that's essentially what you get with eating ASMR. It's people who are literally putting microphones right on their throat or right by their mouth, and they're whispering whatever they're saying, and then they're proceeding to eat their food. And I don't know what's more disturbing, the fact that there are people who are doing this or that there are people who are watching it. I will say for myself personally, it was the worst, terrible, awful. I personally, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I completely hate with a passion people who smack their food or chew with their mouth open. I always have. The older I get, it doesn't get any better, I can tell you that. The more I absolutely can't stand it. And this was like, I'm going to make that act on full volume for everybody to be a part of. Now, I will say kudos for them. They have found a way to take some of the most disgusting content you'll ever see and make money off of that. I don't really understand it. My hope is that people watch this because it's almost like a sideshow attraction, right? When people just like, good God Almighty, this is awful. By the way, do you see this back here? My wife's like, you gotta trim them leaves. I need to, but I'm not a rule follower. Yeah, that's right. But anyways, it is horrifying. And the fact of the matter is, I got down this rabbit hole, and there are so many of these out there. And here's the thing. I am going to venture to guess that it's not all kids that are watching this, that there are adults out there who are like, you know what I want to do on a Friday night? I want to tune in and watch my favorite creator absolutely just chew spaghetti and slurp it down, and I'm going to hear every swallowing noise, and then in between that, they're going to just go and just say, it doesn't matter what you say. You can be like, oh, you have a great day. And just whispering it the way they do sounds so gross and so disturbing. So if you haven't yet seen it, I recommend that you don't. It's bad news.